Welcome to True Tomorrows. I'm Adrian Smith, and
I'm Julia Jones.
we're delighted to have you. Going to be your guides to the wildest corners of the future.
Yeah, we like to separate the plausible tech from the pure sci-fi.
Exactly. And, we've got a great story for you today.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
You sent us this story about this world where, magic is fading, choked out by, gears and soot.
Huh. So they traded enchantment for industry?
Yeah. And
Sounds kind of bleak.
yeah, but then there's this group of renegade inventors, and they're trying to bring magic back.
Oh, so it's a comeback story.
Kind of, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And, we talk about the downsides technology, but this is like technology suppressing magic.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. That's a fascinating twist.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
So these inventors, they call themselves the Rustbelt Renegades.
Okay. Rustbelt Renegades. I like it already.
And there's Sasha. She has this intuitive sense of magic.
Okay.
Then there's Kai, who's like the brilliant but eccentric theorist.
So every good team needs one of those.
Right. And then Nick is their leader, all about the big picture and taking risks.
So classic inventor archetype, right?
Exactly.
But in a world we don't usually think of them in,
Yeah.
they're driven by this passion to revive something ancient.
Exactly. And they believe that magic is like this force, they call it aether, is essential to this world,
Okay.
like vital.
Interesting.
And get this, they created a conduit.
A conduit.
Yeah, it's a device that can bridge this fading ether with the industrialized world,
So they built something to connect magic and machines.
pretty much.
That's a pretty wild concept.
It is.
So how does this thing work?
Well, the sources describe it as this fusion of scavenged technology
Okay.
and this deep, almost instinctual understanding of ether.
Huh.
So it's like more than just gears and wires.
Mhm.
There's this element of mystical attunement involved.
Right. So they're not just building a machine, they have to understand this force.
Yeah.
It makes you think about how we approach technology today. Are we so focused on the how that we forget the why?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And when it works, the sources say it's intoxicating.
Really?
They're not just tinkering with metal and steam. They're wielding this power that's been dormant for ages.
It's like they tapped into a hidden energy source.
Exactly.
Oh, like we always say, power can be a double-edged sword.
Oh, yeah?
It can be used for good or it can be abused.
Right.
And that's where our next character comes in, the Shadowsmith.
Oh, yeah, this guy's interesting. He's like this mix of industrialist and occultist.
Interesting combo.
And he's got ambition.
I bet.
This decaying world, it's like his playground.
Huh.
He sees opportunity where others see ruin.
Okay.
And he wants that conduit.
So he sees ether as a tool.
Yeah, for control, for him, it's not about revitalization. It's about power.
So we've got these two opposing views of magic, right?
Exactly.
The Renegades, they want to heal the world. The Shadowsmith wants to rule it.
And that creates conflict.
Big time, I bet.
The Shadowsmith, he becomes obsessed with this invention.
Yeah.
He sees it as the key to unlocking some greater power.
Can't let the good guys have all the fun.
Right, but there's something else he's fixated on Sasha.
Oh, why Sasha?
He senses her connection to the ether. He thinks she's the key to even greater power.
So he can't control her power, and that makes him want it even more.
Exactly. And the sources describe this escalating conflict.
Okay.
Stolen blueprints, daring escapes.
Whoa.
The Renegades are constantly on the run, trying to protect Sasha and the invention from the Shadowsmith.
It's like a high-stakes chase.
Yeah.
Across this, industrial landscape.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder what happens when innovation falls into the wrong hands.
That's a great question.
Can we really predict or control the consequences of our actions?
Especially when it comes to powerful technology.
Right. And so we end up with the Renegades at their foundry, making their last stand.
Against the Shadowsmith.
Yep. They know they can't beat him, so they take a gamble.
What do?
They decide to overload the conduit.
Overload it.
Yeah, to flood the world with uncontrolled magic.
Whoa, hold on. Flooding the world with raw magic.
Yeah.
That sounds incredibly dangerous. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, that's what we'll find out.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. Welcome back to True Tomorrows. We left the Renegades in a pretty sticky situation.
Yeah, cornered facing off against the Shadowsmith.
Their only option is to unleash this force they barely understand.
Yeah, talk about a high-stakes gamble.
And we've talked about the unintended consequences of technology, but this is next level.
Yeah.
Unleashing raw magic like this.
It's like opening Pandora's box.
Exactly.
Sources describe the scene at the foundry as pure chaos. Like the Renegades, they're frantically getting ready to trigger this overload.
Yeah.
Even Kai, their eccentric theorist,
Yeah.
He seems to realize how serious this is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's this line that really stood out to me.
Oh, what is it?
He says, "This is it. We either drown in rust or ride the tide of chaos."
Wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
It really shows how desperate they are.
Yeah, they have to choose between giving in to the Shadowsmith and this, like, suffocating industry.
Right.
Or embracing this unpredictable power of magic.
But even if they succeed, what kind of world are they creating?
That's the big question. And the sources give us a glimpse of what happens when they hit the overload.
Okay.
And it's not this clean explosion, no. It's like this wave of raw magic that washes over everything.
Oh,
Like it blurs the lines between the physical and the mystical.
so the industrial world starts to change.
Oh yeah, the sources describe it as like the pipes, the gears, the metal. It all starts to warp and twist,
Huh.
taking on these bizarre organic shapes. Like the magic is rewriting the rules of reality.
That's a trippy image. So what happens to the Shadowsmith's constructs?
Well, they don't just break down, they unmake. Like a magic holding them together just rebels and dissolves their essence.
It's like the magic is rejecting his control.
Exactly. He tried to harness this primal force, bend it to his will.
But magic has a will of its own.
And even the Shadowsmith himself, he's not immune.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his form starts to dissolve too.
Wow, so he tried to control something that's ultimately uncontrollable?
And it backfired big time.
It's like a classic case of hubris, right?
And what about Sasha?
Oh, yeah, she's in the middle of all this.
Right, the sources describe her as both exhilarated and terrified.
Like, she's seeing her dream come true, but not how she imagined it.
Yeah.
They wanted magic back, but maybe this isn't what they had in mind.
And the world doesn't go back to some, like, idyllic state of balance. It's reshaped, reborn in this violent, unpredictable way.
Okay, so paint me a picture. What does this new world look like?
Metal fused with flesh rust, blooming into these impossible shapes. The sky erupting with colors that have no name. It's beautiful and terrifying.
Wow, that's intense. So the old order is gone and something new is taking its place.
Exactly, but what will this new world be like? And what role will the Renegades play in shaping it?
Those are some great questions.
Welcome back to True Tomorrows. We're in the final act of our story, picking up with the Renegades facing the consequences of their magical gamble.
Yeah, they unleashed a torrent of raw ether.
Right, and it's reshaping their world in ways they never could have imagined.
Remember those vivid descriptions from the source material?
Oh yeah, metal and flesh, intertwined rust, blossoming into these crazy shapes. The sky just ablaze with otherworldly colors.
It's like they woke up this sleeping giant, this raw magical energy.
And now it's reshaping their world by its own rules.
Makes you wonder what happens to the people.
Right. How do they adapt to this reality where, like, the laws of nature are just constantly changing?
Well, the sources don't really tell us,
Oh.
but they do focus on the Renegades.
Okay.
You know, they yearned for the return of magic, but now they're at the epicenter of this chaotic transformation.
It's like they're not just inventors anymore.
No, now they're architects of a new reality.
And that's where things get really interesting. They set out to revive magic, to bring back wonder and possibility.
But what they achieved is something far more radical.
Yeah, way more disruptive.
It's like they opened this door to a realm of infinite possibilities.
But they can't control what comes through.
Right, the old order has gone shattered, and something new and unknown is taking its place.
And the story ends with this image of the Renegades as, like, shepherds of this new age.
This world where the very laws of existence are up for grabs.
A world of terrifying, boundless possibility.
It's a beautiful and terrifying thought at the same time.
It really makes you think, if magic can be this unpredictable, what does that say about our attempts to control other powerful forces?
Like technology.
Exactly, because technology is advancing at this crazy pace.
And are we prepared for the unexpected consequences?
Yeah. Are we ready for the unexpected turns that could reshape our reality?
That's the question we're left with.
And it's one that each of us has to grapple with as we navigate the future.
Because we're always pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
But we need to remember that progress isn't always a straight line.
Sometimes the most important breakthroughs come with a hefty price tag.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today.
Yeah, it looks like we've reached the end of our journey.
But the conversation doesn't have to stop here.
Right. Keep those questions flowing.
We hope this deep dive sparked some thought-provoking ideas.
About the relationship between technology magic and the choices we make.
As we shape the future.
Because ultimately the future is not set in stone.
It's a tapestry woven from the choices we make today.
So choose wisely.
And stay curious.
And don't forget to rate and follow True Tomorrows.
For more captivating stories about the future.
Until next time, keep exploring.
The endless possibilities of tomorrow.